Yes, this is my dog who's decided that she wants to be my companion this morning.
Oh my God, that is the most gorgeous dog. What's your dog called?
Buffin.
Buffett.
She literally follows me everywhere.
Oh, your little shadow. Can she sing?
She howls. So when it's so funny because when I'm doing my vocal warm ups, I usually do them in the hall because that's where it's most resonant. And I'll start going through my scales, la 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 la, and if she, see, look at her. Did you see her then?
Yes, I
La,
did.
la, 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 la. She's already, the ears are already going. But if she can hear me and she's in the kitchen, I'll hear her scratching at the door, and I let her in, and she literally sits in front of me, watching me sing. And when I get to the really high notes, that's when she starts joining in and singing with me.
Oh, your biggest fan. Your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's gorgeous. It's lovely to have her in the film as well.
I mean, the success of last year's tour. I mean, it was, coming out of that period of time, mentioning the word again, COVID, and it was everything. I think everything across the board in the entertainment industry was a tough sell,
Yeah.
and I think people were slowly starting to get the confidence back with regards to going out and visiting theatres and shows and all the rest of it. And so the start of the year, we came out rolling and thinking this is actually going better than we thought. And by the end of the year, all the venues that we were doing were sold out. In fact, we were announcing second and in some cases third concert dates at venues, and it was just fantastic. And we'd had a theatre tour planned for the end of this year, but because of the success of this cathedral tour, we rang up the agent we were working with and said, look, do you mind if we kind of knock that into 2025 and just roll with, the dates that we're doing at the moment, keep going with the cathedrals? And he said, no, that won't be problematic at all. So that's what we did. And already, we're where I'm in next week, St. Albans Cathedral, and then we're into Derby Cathedral. I mean, Derby Cathedral's, great, good memories from that. But was there back in 2015 actually, and I remember at the time it was I remember the day specifically because I'd just found out that a song that I recorded many years ago, which was the Star Trek theme tune, um, was being used by NASA. I got this. It was so weird. I got this telephone call, and it was, it's from the States, and I'm thinking, you see the code on the phone. Who's ringing me from America? So I pick the phone up, and this guy's on the phone. He says, "Hi, is that Russell Watson?" I said, "Yes." He said, "It's I can't remember his name. It's Martin from NASA. We're just ringing up to ask you if we can use Faith of the Heart. The tune that you recorded for Star Trek Enterprise." I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah," but I honestly, I'm a wind up merchant, so I'm thinking straight away. I'm thinking, yeah, all right. He says, so he's going, yeah, of course it is. Yeah, you can use it for whatever you want, mate. And he's like, yeah. So anyway, we're thinking we've got the probe. What I'm trying to remember, New Horizons, it was called. The New Horizons probe is heading towards Pluto, and in a few days' time, it's going to be taking pictures as it flies. It'll be the first ever pictures of Pluto, and we want to use your song to wake up the probe. So I was like, and now all of a sudden I'm starting to think, okay, so I have read something about this. So I said, right, okay, so you want to use, yeah, we want to use Faith of the Heart to wake up the probe. And your voice will be heard the furthest from this planet in the history of mankind. Anyway, it transpires that it was true. And
Wow.
on the day that it happened, I was singing at Derby Cathedral. So I was telling, I put a post online saying, it's so amazing. My voice will be waking up the New Horizons probe as it does its first flyby past Pluto, and my voice will be heard the furthest from this planet in the history of mankind. And somebody wrote back, and that's where it should stay.
Oh no!
Yes.
What a fantastic story. And the fact that
Yeah,
he was in the East Midlands. But unfortunately, this is your only date in the East Midlands, isn't it? It is a
it is.
beautiful, magnificent buildings tour, isn't it? We have many magnificent buildings, Russell, in Nottingham. But I noticed
Yes.
you've gone to Derby. But hey, but you're in the East Midlands. We're delighted you're in the East Midlands.
Well, if name me a cathedral or a church or something that you think would suit in Nottingham, and we'll see if we can get it on the list.
Really? Oh, I'll have to have a
Yeah.
think. We've got too many to mention, but we'll
Okay.
definitely. I'll let you know. In fact,
Right.
the viewers could maybe suggest something.
Yeah, yeah. Get the viewers to write in and say where they think, I should come and sing. Where
You'd consider it.
when we say magnificent buildings, we're predominantly talking about cathedrals, abbeys, or the larger churches.
Wow. Well, I can think of a few already, but I'll let the viewers have a go at that. Anyway,
Okay.
fantastic. It's so exciting that you're coming. Tell us a little bit about what we'll see then.
Well, it's going to be, the voice is working so well at the moment. I don't know what's gone on, why maybe it's an age thing, but the power and the resonance of it is stronger than it's ever been right now at this moment in time. Feels like it's almost reached its peak. And so I'm singing the big repertoire. It'll be the big classical arias, a mixture of those and some sacred arias, the usuals, and the Bach Gounod Ave Maria, Cesar Franck, Panis Angelicus, all those beautiful pieces. And then combined with that, some musical theatre repertoire. Phantom of the Opera makes an appearance. Les Mis, obviously, Bring Him Home, Empty Chairs, Empty Tables. So it's a real mixture. But I think there are certain pieces of music, certain tunes that I feel lend themselves really well to these beautiful resonant buildings where my voice just echoes forever. And so we kind of tailor made it for that. Not many, sometimes I throw in the occasional pop song, but this is predominantly classical repertoire and a classical show.
Fantastic. Now, you're described as somebody who has the voice of Pavarotti, but the entertainment factor of Sinatra. Why are you shaking your head? It's true.
It was a quote. It was a quote from a newspaper. It was the New York Times after they'd see. I did a performance at Carnegie Hall many years ago, and that's how they described me. I mean, it's the ultimate flattery, of course,
Yeah.
but I don't really see myself quite that way. I mean, those are two of the biggest names in the industry. But it's nice when those flattering comments are made about you. It's lovely, but I kind of take everything that's written in the newspapers with a pinch of salt. But thank you. But I do. I mean, predominantly my show is about singing, and I've got all my little anecdotes and stories.
Russell, sorry to interrupt, but I remember last time I came to see you, I was just blown away by how funny you were. You could be a stand-up comedian as well. It was fantastic.
Thank you. Well, my mother always used to say that. It's funny, growing up as a kid, I had no real aspirations to be a performer or a singer. I didn't know, to be honest with you, I didn't know what I wanted to be, a fireman or something like that. And I'd always be clowning around, and my mother would always say to me, "Oh, Russell, you should be on stage. You are fun to be a comedian."
Fantastic.
Okay.
You sold 7 million albums. You performed in front of the Queen, in front of the Pope, in front of 2 American presidents. What inspires you to keep going? You've done brilliantly.
Well, I don't really need much inspiring to keep going. I love singing. I can't. It's funny because I look at the likes of the Tom Jones and Rod Stewart and those artists, Elton John, that have been going for a long, long time, and I kind of take inspiration from those because, you can. I just love it. I love singing, and whilst I can sing, I will want to sing. I can't ever imagine me being in a position where I'm all right, everything's all right physically, and my voice is working, that I wouldn't want to sing. Because if I'm away for, if you know, I take my annual sabbatical in January, but by the second, third week of January, I'm already, you know, when are we back on stage?
Get going. Oh. Well, sell it to us then. Why should we buy tickets to come and see you at Derby Cathedral on the 8th? It's the 8th, I think it is the 8th, isn't it? The 8th of March.
I think predominantly because I said before, my voice is working so well. Now would be a good time to see me. Because I hate to say it, but over the years, the voice does slowly start to deteriorate. And it's not going to last forever. But I'd say this is the peak of my vocal prowess. The other thing is as well, the cathedrals, they're such inspiring locations and places. Derby's a beautiful cathedral as well. So, I mean, to get in there and watch a vocal performance, I think regardless of who's there is wonderful. It's a great experience anyway. But yeah, I just think it'll be a good night. And I've got, you know, lots of stories and lots of little anecdotes, funny stories as well. I think it'll be a good night for the audience. We'll have a good time, a good laugh, and hopefully send them away with a smile on their face.
Oh, we can't wait to see you. We're going to bring the dog.
What do you think? Are you coming with me? Yeah? No?
Oh, just so cute.